Hey, Port City Kids families, my name is Stuart Hall. I'm the Director of Student Leadership for the organization Orange. Today I want to talk to you and talk to myself about helping our children have correct expectations about God. It's interesting, the expectations that we place on our children about God, because if we're honest as parents, we're the ones that really set those expectations. We tell our children all the time to pray about something and God will answer that prayer, but we're not really sure He will answer that prayer. And here's what in essence happens. We have our kids begin to pray for something and pray for something and pray for something that God may not answer that prayer, and we set them up to begin to believe that God is actually a God of karma when He's not. Here's what I would propose to you. Most of us, if we're really honest, have a really fragile, circumstantial perspective of faith. And basically that means this, that what I'm feeling now, what I'm experiencing now determines what I believe right now. A lot of times what happens is that we begin to turn away from God because we make a really, really stupid choice, because here's what all of us know. We understand this as adults, and we see this even as our kids get older. There are two things that you can do with a poor choice. You can change, what the Bible calls repent, and go back toward God, or you can change what you believe. And the older that children get, the easier it is for them not to turn back toward God, but to start changing what they believe. So what does it mean for us to teach our children to have a correct expectation of God? What is it that we can expect God to do? Who is it that we can expect God to be? Who is God really? Here's what I would simply say to you. God is who He says He is and who He's promised Himself to be. The beautiful thing about the scriptures that we have, in fact, the writer of Hebrews says this, that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Jesus is the foundation of our faith. And whatever it is that Jesus said, whatever it is that Jesus promised, and whatever it is that Jesus did, we can help our children trust in that. If they're not trusting in what Jesus said, what Jesus did, and what He taught, then they're trusting in something that's really, really fragile. So the question for you and I as moms and dads is simply this: are we helping our children lean the full weight of their existence on who it is that God has said He is and what He's promised them? Who it is that Jesus is and what He's promised them. Why so much attention on Jesus? Because He's the foundation of our faith. Jesus is what God has to say. Jesus is what God has promised. Jesus is who your children can lean the full weight of their existence on. Jesus is the one that they can trust when things that they thought they could trust fall apart. And it also helps you and I to be really, really careful when we tell our kids to pray about something and God will answer that prayer. Is that something God has promised them, or is that something they're hoping for? Because hope and faith are two different things. Me hoping something happens and me believing that something happens are two different things. And as it relates to our faith, the difference in hope and faith are the promises of God. I'm praying for you as you lead your kids. I'm praying for you as you pray with your kids. I'm praying for you as you pray for your kids. But most of all, I'm asking all of us to lean the full weight of our existence on the person of Jesus. We love you.